They say if you walk the old Osage Trail at night, when the wind cuts through the tall grass, you can hear the creak of a trapdoor and the whisper of a woman offering to read your future. Follow her voice, and you may never come back. This is the true story of the Bloody Benders, America's first known serial killer family. A tale where frontier history and horror folklore intertwine, leaving behind a legend that refuses to die. In the 1870s, Kansas was a vast open prairie. The Homestead Act of 1862 drew settlers to claim their 160 acres, but communities were scattered and towns rare. It was easy to disappear out here, by accident, foul play, or choice. Travelers heading west followed the Osage Trail through Labette County. Roadside inns sprang up along the route, offering rest and meals. Most were safe. One became infamous. Some travelers said the air near a certain inn felt wrong. Dogs barked furiously at the inn, refusing to enter as if sensing something was wrong. And the prairie seemed to grow silent. That inn belonged to the Benders. The family arrived in 1870. John Bender Sr. spoke little English. Elvira was rumored to practice witchcraft. John Jr. was friendly but unnerving, laughing at odd moments. And Kate was young, charismatic, and fluent in English. She lured travelers with seances and fortune readings. She claimed she could talk to the dead. Together, the family ran a small inn and grocery on the Osage Trail. Outwardly strange, but harmless. Behind the curtain, something far darker was happening. Their method was simple and brutal. Travelers were seated with their backs to a canvas curtain. While Kate distracted them, someone struck from behind with a hammer. Disappearances were common in Kansas, and for a time, no one suspected. But when Dr. William York, the brother of a state senator, went missing, people started asking questions. Their throats were slit, and their bodies dropped through a trapdoor into the blood-soaked cellar, then buried in the orchard. Search parties reached the Bender property to find it abandoned. On May 9, 1873, the Emporia News reported about the discovery. Yesterday, 2 men were looking at the claim so suddenly vacated by the Benders, and while they were in the garden, noticed a queer depression in the soil, and suspecting something wrong, dug down. They uncovered horror. By May 23rd, newspapers reported 8 graves and up to 14 victims. Victims were struck, throats cut, and dumped into the cellar. Crowds swarmed the site. Photographers arrived, and Harper's Weekly published the grisly images. The press dubbed the property Devil's Kitchen and Hell's Half Acre. With the family gone, folklore flourished. People claimed to see ghostly lights on the property at night or hear hammering echoing from the empty cellar. Horses refused to go near the orchard. Legends said Kate's spirit wandered the prairie, luring travelers to their doom. Others whispered that Ma Bender's curses still haunted the ground. The inn was eventually torn down, but the story rooted itself in local legend. The Benders were never definitively caught. In August 1880, the Chicago Tribune reported a couple in Nebraska who confessed to being the elder Benders. For a week, papers followed their transfer back to Kansas, but by August 10th, public opinion shifted. They were imposters and released the next day. Meanwhile, a Pennsylvania paper claimed a man named S.A. James testified that the real Benders had already been caught and executed in 1873. 2 days later, they printed that the arrested pair weren't the real killers, implying the family had been put out of the way. The truth was never confirmed. They vanished into history or legend. The house is gone. The orchard has been replanted. But on quiet nights along the Osage Trail, some say you can still hear the trapdoor creak and Kate's voice on the wind. The Bloody Benders were real, a family of killers whose story blurred into ghost tales. Not just a legend or a haunting, a piece of American history that refuses to stay buried. This has been Unearthed Horrors of History, where history meets horror. Tell us what you think in the comments. And if you love unraveling history's darkest legends, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more chilling stories.